How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to be trying to make sourdough bread again. My first attempt didn't work so well because I made my dough too wet for how I was making my loaves. So today we're just going to make the loaves in the regular bread tins. For this we'll need measuring spoons, a measuring cup, a bag of flour, about 5.5 cups, a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil, your starter, your sourdough starter, some instant dry yeast, and today I'm going to be using my mixer, but you can also do this in a bowl with a spoon and by hand. We'll start by adding our 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. And then since I know that my starter is nice and active, I'm only going to add 1 teaspoon of instant dry yeast to that water. And I like to wait a little bit for my instant dry yeast to kind of dissolve a little bit and start getting active before I start to add 1 cup of ripe sourdough starter, which means that you want to feed it at least an hour or 2 hours before you put it in. Just going to give it a little stir first. And you take 1 cup. And add it in. And then I'll add 2.5 teaspoons of salt. So here's the part that a lot of recipes don't tell you, is that they list a certain amount of flour, but really just add as much as the dough needs. You don't want your dough too hard, and you don't want it too soft to where it sticks to everything. I'm just going to start out with about 3.5 to 4 cups of flour in there, and mix it up using my dough hook on low speed. And you just want to keep adding it about 1/2 cup at a time. That'll be good. Now that your dough is soft, but it doesn't stick to everything, you'll want to turn it out onto floured surface and knead it a little bit. This is what I like to do at the very end, even though I have the dough hook, just because it makes it a little bit smoother. Basically, you're just folding it in on itself. A little bit of flour on the outside, help it not stick to everything. There's your dough ball. Next I take my oil, a nice big bowl, get plenty on there, take a little bit of paper towel, and just spread it all over the sides of the bowl. This will keep the dough from sticking when it rises. I put my dough in there upside down first. Get the top covered with a little bit of oil. There. And you take the put a cover on it or a towel, and you let it rise for about 90 minutes. Put a little flour down. Now that your dough is risen to at least double size, you just turn it out. Shrink down a little bit when you turn it out, but that's alright. And cut them in half. Stick it in your pre-greased pan. And you let these rise for about another hour. So now that our loaves have risen a little bit, and I already preheated the oven to 425, we're just going to take a sharp knife and just cut the top a little. Now we just pop them in the oven. until the tops are golden brown, which will be in about 25 to 30 minutes. Not quite golden brown yet. Alright, let it sit for a few more minutes. Those are looking about done. Just grab a hot mitt. Oh yeah. Nice. Perfect. So we'll let that cool off a little bit, then we'll slice it.